r/AskReddit. Why do you like to be alone? I hate the stress of having to constantly be present in mind when I'm with other people. I love being able to space out and sit in silence and just be in my own head. I constantly space out in public because I'm the same and just don't love chatting/mingling. My best friend can always tell when I'm mentally checked out and brings me back to reality. People think I am an asshole when they're trying to start small talk with me, but I cannot keep the conversation up because there is not a lot for me to talk about that is genuinely interesting. Is that normal for most people? Small talk is a skill. The idea is try and steer the conversation into a more mutually interesting topic. Being around people for extended periods of time drains me, and I need a day to myself to reset. Classic introvert. So I can fart in peace. Fip. Best reply. I live alone, and in my apartment I can do what I want, when I want, however I want. The complete freedom to have a day with no plans, and then to spend that day doing as much or as little as I want. No obligations to anyone that I don't make for myself. Spending a lot of time alone is a really good way to learn a lot about who you are without influence from other people and their opinions or perception of you. I've been living alone for over 2 years, but for the past 9 months of being single and, mostly, not dating, I've realized how much I'm capable of enjoying my own company. TL. Doctor. The freedom and amount of time I can spend focusing on myself is why I like to be alone. Edit. Thank you all for your replies and kind words. I will do my best to read as many as I can. Edit 2. I replied to as many comments as I could that related to either questions or advice. The best I could anyway. One of the best times I've ever had was 5 years ago when I took a solo vacation for 5 days. I didn't care one bit that it was in Chicago in January. Actually, I just considered it part of the adventure. What mattered was that it was all about me and what I felt like doing. Was there anyone to whine about getting cold and tired when I wanted to walk around the city and explore all day? Nope. Was there anyone to disagree about where to eat dinner? Nope. Anyone who didn't feel like getting up at 6 AM to walk down the street for breakfast? Nope. Anyone to judge me the day I ordered pizza and stayed in my hotel room watching TV until 3 in the afternoon? Nope. Was there anyone who cared about going there with no agenda and only a list of places I wanted to eat? Nope. There wasn't even one person who thought it was silly or dumb for talking to strangers, such as the homeless lady at Starbucks who introduced herself as Priscilla Presley. Hands down, the best thing about being alone is not having to worry about compromising with anyone else's wants or demands. I'm not annoying anyone. This hits home. Shout out to the crippling fear of and constant feeling that you're bothering other people just by existing, so you have to bottle up 90% of your personality, which then feels incredibly exhausting. So despite sometimes enjoying people, you spend way more time alone than you should, gang. In my opinion, it is nice to be alone every now and then, as it is allowing you to self-reflect and enjoy some quality time with yourself. However, in a more permanent level, I have seen it wrecking my mood and leading me to a state close to depression. Balance does the trick for me. I agree with this. Too much thinking/solitude can get me in a solemn mood. I can be myself. I never know which version of myself I am when I have to socialize. I always feel terrible afterwards and scrutinize what I said or did. I feel mentally discombobulated. When I'm alone, there's no stress. I like myself more. Man, shifting personalities is such a trip. At work I'm talkative. In class I don't say a word. With my friends I'm a dumbass. With my family I'm silly. At the store I'm anxious. And when I'm alone I just feel natural. My friends are annoying sometimes. It's good to take breaks. I like to rotate around. Right round, like a record? Or more like a Beyblade? Zero drama. False. I have imaginary arguments all the time. Me too. And I usually, although not always, win my imaginary arguments. I'm a bit of a weirdo and I like being alone because I don't have to explain why I said something or did something. I feel like when I'm around people that I have to significantly tone down my personality, which can get pretty exhausting. Solitude is comforting. When I'm alone I don't have to be scared to be myself, and I don't have to pretend I'm feeling fine all the time. This is such a good explanation. People who don't get it always wonder what introverted people do that make them enjoy solitude. Nothing. It's not about what you do when you're alone, it's about how being alone makes you feel. For me anyway, like you said, I'm in a constant state of calm and peace. I don't have to think about anyone else, or think about what I should say. I'm just me, in the present moment, calm and self-aware and happy. You know, that's an interesting take. I've always said I like to be the cliched alone with my thoughts, but you're right, the way it feels is the real reason why I like being alone. I definitely describe it as calm, and I might even go so far as saying content. I've always been that way, would rather enjoy my own company for countless hours than be around people and feel the need to leave after a while. Edit. Bruh, why has this blown up? Thanks for 10,000 upvotes. I'm just like you, but my parents are always forcing me to stay longer than I feel comfortable, and I end up hating hanging out with my friends. Any tips to hang out willingly more often? From one introvert to another, the more people involved, the less time you will feel comfortable. People are just draining on your overall energy. So to prolong your social interactions, try a smaller group of friends. Also, doing something you like to do by yourself, but with a group of friends helps too, like video games, or playing on your phone. Eventually you'll find friends that don't seem to be as draining, and hopefully you'll even find some that don't drain you at all. And when you find one that you actually prefer to be alone with, that's the keeper. I'm a mix between an introvert and an extrovert. I like spending time and talking to other people, but I can only recharge my energy when I'm alone. So if I have to socialize for 2 to 3 days in a row, I would make an effort to spend the next day completely alone to get back into good headspace, because I get tired from socializing. There are many more of us than people realize. Gregarious introverts. Introversion and extroversion are not personality traits. They explain how you get your energy, with people or away from people. You can be a loud and confident introvert as easily as you can be a shy and quiet extrovert. It's quiet. I'm not legally required to say thanks for the gold's kind strangers, but I did accidentally in this sentence, so there you go. My favorite line from a TV show, from Buffy and spoken by Zinda. I like the quiet. Buffy is a good show. Just getting into it. Human interaction is ducking exhausting. Isn't that the truth? I'm always mentally and physically tired after being around others. I don't have to worry about other people. I can do whatever I want whenever I want. Right now I'm planning on getting dressed and taking a leisurely stroll through the park, smoke a joint, and get a taco. No time frame. I'll get there when I get there. I'll get back when I get back. Then I'll do whatever I want for the rest of the night. Alternatively, last time I was at my friend's and they had the radio on, and it was the worst ducking station around. I can do whatever I want whenever I want. This is such a huge plus of being alone for people like me that are night owls. I work from home and make my own schedule, so it's not uncommon for me to sometimes stay up all night and then sleep during the day. What hath night to do with sleep? John Milton, Paradise Lost. Because it's nice to be alone with your thoughts and enjoy alone time. Definitely agree. I don't feel as if I truly process new information or circumstances until I've been alone. You put into words how I didn't even know I felt. Introversion and social anxiety make human contact a terrible experience. The crappy thing is a big part of me loves and craves social interaction, but sometimes that social anxiety hits hard and I'll just feel like I can't be in the same room as other people. It hits hardest at loud parties where people are talking and interacting and there's a lot of conversations going on at once. I want to be a part of it, but sometimes I have to duck out for air, and when I'm in there I just have trouble mingling. It feels like you're trying to talk, but there's like some weird danger you can't ignore, and it keeps interrupting my train of thought. There's that perfect balance for me with a chill party, where I'm talking to like 1 or 2 or 3 people and can relax, but I feel like it's not often I get that. I do manage to force myself to go out and hang out with groups, but I know I avoid a lot more social interaction than I normally would if I didn't have that anxiety. Sometimes I'll skip out on something and just get kind of depressed that I couldn't push myself through it and just handle it, and it just feels crappy staying at home. And sometimes I'll go to a party and get depressed because I want to have fun and interact, but I just can't. It's a catch-22. Either stay home and hate myself for it, or go out and hate myself for not enjoying what I want to enjoy. Because I don't like small talk, and I don't like loud people. I hate small talk. It's like I don't give a duck about the weather or sports, and no, I don't care about how your family is. Edit. I hardly ever mean 100% or what I say, and most of it is done for a dramatic effect in hopes it will be perceived as humorous. It is the least stressful condition to be in. I will never understand codependent people. Being alone is the one time you can literally do what you want and completely be yourself. No one to shoot down your plans, and no hearing opinions from people. Alone time is bliss. I'm never ever bored when I'm by myself. I can sit around and think, read, do the work or hobbies I love, hang with my dogs. I guess I'm not alone anymore when I'm with them. But it feels endless what I can do. With other people I'm often bored. If I'm making small talk or just trying to engage them for politeness or kindness. I mean, I still enjoy many interactions and situations with other people, but alone wins. I do especially like hanging out with my boyfriend, but we do that together, but each doing our own thing. People are exhausting. I tend to believe all people have two gas tanks. One that can only be filled up by the company of those you truly connect with, and one that can only be filled up by time alone. And they are different sizes for different people. Indeed, as Murakami wrote, in this world, there are things you can only do alone, and things you can only do with somebody else. It's important to combine the two in just the right amount.